You're the best person on your team. Everyone knows it. Your manager knows it, your coworkers know it. You deliver on time, you solve problems, you don't complain, you're reliable. And because you're reliable, you get more work. Because you deliver, you get harder projects. Because you don't complain, you get the tasks no one else wants. 5 years pass. You're still the best person on your team, still reliable, still delivering. And you look around and notice something strange. The people who were mediocre got promoted. The ones who talked more than they worked got raises. The ones who left at 5 every day are now managing departments. And you're still here, doing the work, being good at your job, wondering when it's going to pay off. Here's the truth no one tells you. Being good at your job doesn't get you ahead. It gets you more of the same job. And the better you are at it, the more dangerous that becomes. Let me show you why. This isn't about effort. It's not about lazy people winning and hard workers losing. It's about how companies actually operate versus how you think they operate. You think the system works like this: work hard, get noticed, get rewarded. Do good work, move up. Be reliable, earn trust, earn promotions. That's the story, the meritocracy myth, the idea that competence equals success. But here's how it actually works. Companies need stability. They need people who do the work without drama, without asking for raises, without leaving. And the moment they find someone like that, someone good at their job who doesn't rock the boat, they stop thinking about promoting them. Because why would they? You're already doing exactly what they need. You're already delivering. Promoting you means losing a high performer in a critical role and gambling on whether you'll be good at the next level. It's a risk, and companies hate risk. So they keep you where you are. They give you more responsibility without more pay, more projects without more title, more expectations without more support. And you accept it because you're good at your job, and good employees don't make waves. Let's talk about what happens when you're too good, when you become the person everyone depends on. You're in marketing, you're great at writing copy, fast, clean, effective. So every campaign that needs copy comes to you. Every last-minute request, every urgent rewrite, you're the go-to. At first, it feels good, you're valued, important. But then you notice something. There's a strategy meeting, you're not invited. There's a leadership offsite, you're not there. There's a new director position, someone else gets it. Someone who's never written a single piece of copy but talks confidently in meetings. You're confused. You're the one doing the work. Why aren't you moving up? Because you're too valuable where you are. You've made yourself irreplaceable in a role that doesn't lead anywhere. You're the engine, and engines don't get promoted. They get run until they break. This is the trap. Competence without visibility, execution without strategy, being so good at the work that no one can imagine you doing anything else. Let's say you're great at your job. You're in the top 10% of performers. You deliver twice as much as the average employee. Your company pays you $60,000 a year. You're worth $60,000 in your current role, maybe more. But promoting you means putting you in a role where you're unproven, where you might only be worth $50,000 until you learn the new job. Meanwhile, keeping you where you are means they get $120,000 worth of work for $60,000. That's a 50% ROI on your salary. Why would they mess with that? So they don't promote you. They promote someone average, someone who's doing $40,000 worth of work in a $60,000 role. That person is replaceable. Promoting them costs nothing. If they fail, hire someone else. But you're the bargain. You're the deal they can't afford to lose. This is why mediocrity gets promoted and excellence gets stuck. Not because the system is broken, because the system is working exactly as designed, to extract maximum value at minimum cost. Now let's talk about visibility, the thing no one explains when you're starting out. Being good at your job means doing the work, delivering the project, hitting the deadline. Your output speaks for itself, right? Wrong. Your output disappears the moment it's done. The report you wrote gets read once and filed. The campaign you built runs and ends. The code you shipped works so well no one thinks about it. Meanwhile, the person who did half the work but presented it in the big meeting gets the credit. The person who sent the recap email with their name at the top gets remembered. The person who spoke up in front of leadership gets noticed. You're heads down, focused, executing. And while you're executing, someone else is performing. And performance, not competence, is what gets you promoted. Here's the cruel irony. The skills that make you good at your job are the opposite of the skills that get you promoted. Doing the work keeps you in the work. Talking about the work gets you out of it. You think you're building a case for promotion by being excellent. You're actually building a case for why they should keep you exactly where you are. Let's look at what happens over time. You're 25, you're good at your job, you're learning, growing, your manager loves you, you get a small raise, 3%, you're happy, you're progressing. You're 30, you're great at your job now, you've been there 5 years, you're the most experienced on the team, you train new hires, you handle the hardest projects, you get another small raise, 3% again. You're a little frustrated, but you're loyal, you keep going. You're 35, you're still great at your job, still reliable, still the person everyone depends on. And you look at the salary data for your role, you're making $75,000, the market rate is $90. You've been underpaid for years and didn't realize it. You ask for a raise, your manager says budget is tight, maybe next year. You're angry, but you don't leave, because leaving feels like giving up, like admitting you wasted a decade. You're 40, you're still there, still good at your job, and someone half your age with half your experience gets hired at your level for more money, because that's what the market pays now, and you've been too loyal, too good, too reliable to leave and get what you're worth. This is the long-term cost of being too good. You become trapped by your own competence, golden handcuffs made of reliability and misplaced loyalty. So what do? How do you stop being too good at a job that's trapping you? First, stop volunteering for everything. Stop being the person who always says yes. Every time you take extra work without extra pay or title, you're training your company to expect it. You're setting the baseline, and baselines don't move, they move sideways. Second, make your work visible. If you finish a project, send a recap. If you solve a problem, loop in leadership. If you deliver valuable something, make sure people know. Not in an obnoxious way, just in a documented way, because if no one sees it, it didn't happen. Third, ask for what you want, directly, clearly. Don't wait for your manager to notice you deserve a promotion. They won't. They're busy. They're managing their own career. You need to advocate for yourself, and if they say no, you need to be willing to leave. Because here's the truth, the fastest way to get a raise is to get a new job. The market pays more than loyalty. A 5% internal raise versus a 20% external offer. The math isn't even close. Fourth, stop thinking of your job as your identity. You're not your role, you're not your company. You're a person with skills who exchanges labor for money, and if the exchange stops being fair, you renegotiate, or you leave. Being good at your job is a tool, not a strategy. The strategy is using that competence to move up, move out, or move on, not to stay stuck doing the same thing forever because you're too valuable to promote. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The system doesn't want you to figure this out. Companies benefit from employees who are great at their jobs and terrible at negotiating, who work hard and don't ask for more, who stay loyal while being underpaid. That's the ideal employee, competent, quiet, grateful, and stuck. And most people play that role their entire career. They think hard work is enough. They think being good is the goal. And they end up 60 years old, retiring from the same job they had at 30, wondering why they never moved up. You don't have to be that person, but avoiding it requires you to stop thinking like a good employee and start thinking like someone running their business, your business, where you're the product and your job is to maximize the return on that product. Being good at your job is the starting point, not the finish line, and the moment you confuse the two, you've lost.